What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're going to jump in with a guide to some new content inside of the Dreaming City. As I mentioned in my previous video, the Last Wish raid has now been completed. Of course, congratulations to the teams who've actually got through this raid. But as a result of this, the curse in the Dreaming City has spread, and this actually enables us to jump in and complete a bunch of new content. So in this video, we're going to break it down. The Heroic Blind Well is now available, and it actually holds some secret powerful loot. So when you complete Heroic Blind Well, you can get a powerful drop. On top of this, there are other drops you can get in there. There is a new quest mission, also capable of providing powerful gear, so we're going to break down all of the powerful gear sources. On top of this, we've got a new strike. There's a new Drifter bounty, which grants powerful gear, and that goes alongside a new map that you can play in the Gambit game mode. So there are some pretty cool changes. Of course, additional drops for powerful gear, so we can actually climb up a little bit more, and that may help if you're trying to complete the raid this weekend. So if you guys do find the video useful, a like below is very much appreciated. If you're new around here, be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see a lot of D2 content. But for now, let's jump straight into it. So first up, I want to talk about the Heroic Blind Well. And that means the unstable charge of light that you can actually apply to the Blind Well is now available to be used. So how do you actually activate it? Well, to start out, you will have to complete a Tier 3 Blind Well run. That's the only way we've been able to start it up. So you complete a Tier 3, which obviously can be slightly challenging depending on your power level and how many people you've actually got in the instance. And you'll need to defeat the entire of the Tier 3 encounter. When you clear the Tier 3, if you've got unstable light charges on you, you'll see a couple of notifications. The well is voracious, as well as the seams between realities begin to weaken. And as soon as this comes up, you'll actually be able to put the Tier 4, or the unstable charge of light, into the well. Now, I should mention, you will have to do this essentially immediately when you get the notification. So whichever boss you take down first, or if you can coordinate with the team to have a player actually head down to the well if you've got some time left, you definitely want to be ready with that unstable light charge, and you can actually put it into the well where you would normally put the Tier 3 in, as long as you see that notification. And you'll see it says joined heroic event, the Blind Well, and we've now got 2 additional bosses to defeat, and you'll see that these are plagues of the well. Now there is a Purification ritual bounty that can grant a Transcendent Blessing mod. That's a mod that gives you bonus damage in Dreaming City, much like the Riven Curse mod that you see on Reverie Dawn gear, but it doesn't actually give you the debuff where you take extra damage. So they're definitely worth getting. If you have the Purification ritual bounty to defeat Plagues of the Well while Ascendant, you can now get that done by completing this Heroic Blind Well. But when you get to the Heroic event, like I said, you've got 2 bosses right here, and the basic mechanic is that you have to blow up the Screeb that spawn near to the boss. When they detonate, they actually can take down the boss's shield bit by bit. So kind of like some previous Court of Oryx and even Escalation Protocol encounters that we've seen. And basically you take down those Screebs to take the shield off, and then you can DPS in the traditional way. While all of this is happening though, you'll have a ton of chieftains spawn in, and they're going to spawn a bunch of different totems, the tethers, the fire totems, all that kind of stuff. And these are going to be very disruptive. They'll both kind of screen the enemies that you're trying to blow up, but of course they'll also do a lot of damage to you. So you'll have to coordinate, take down those totems, and then continuously destroy the Screeb as they spawn in to get the shield off and get your damage phases in. Now you are going to need a fair amount of damage here. This is a 580 boss, so super strong. We did actually have players from around about 535 upwards. So at around about those levels, you will be looking at being able to do this, but you will need a pretty solid team. And once again, you need a good instance of the Blind Well. But basically, you take down both of the bosses with this method. Of course, if you need to complete the bounty for Purification Ritual, then you'll have to pop a Tincture of Queen's Foil to become Ascendant and then take out the plagues. But if you can clear both of those bosses, that will be the completion of the Heroic Blind Well. Now right here, you'll see that I opened this chest, and you can see that we're not doing the heroic version. I'm actually picking up rewards that I accidentally left on the ground from when we cleared the Heroic Blind Well in the first instance. So I actually did it without the tincture and had to go grab the tincture. I'm going to come back and grab this loot. Everybody on our team got a powerful loot drop when we completed the Heroic Blind Well. So on your first completion, you will get a piece of powerful gear. I got the Dreaming City launcher right here. I'm not sure whether this is weekly. I would guess it's probably a weekly drop, but it essentially is a hidden or secret powerful drop because we don't know it's actually going to come from this. And outside of the bounties and the 1 powerful drop, you get pretty much the normal Blind Well rewards. So that is it for the heroic blind well, which is now available. Definitely go in and grab that additional powerful loot. Speaking of powerful loot though, there are a couple of other opportunities. So first up, the Drifter now has a weekly bounty capable of providing powerful gear. I believe the objectives can be different for different players. I simply need to complete games, kill enemies and stuff like that. But you will get a powerful drop when you finish this bounty, which is pretty awesome. On top of this, there is a new Gambit map that takes place on the Dreaming City. Really cool kind of cathedral map. I haven't actually had the chance to jump into a game here, but I've seen numerous reports that the map is now available. So definitely jump in with that new Gambit bounty, check out the new map. Of course, on top of this though, there is a new Petra bounty, and this is available after the update to the Curse on the Dreaming City. So if you head over to Petra right now, if you haven't been there since this update, you'll have a bounty capable of rewarding powerful gear, and it will require you to complete the Broken Courier mission, which is essentially a quest mission. So once you've got the bounty, you'll see it pop up on the map on Dreaming City. You can go start the mission. It's a fairly self-explanatory one to get through. There is actually a secret enemy hidden during this mission. So when you get to the bridge section right here in the Gardens of Isilla, there is a taken captain called the Odenum. And when you kill this guy, you will unlock a secret triumph. You can see on screen right here. We actually missed this on our first run, so thanks to my pal Savage for the clip that you're seeing. This is also a 580 enemy, so if you're below a certain level, he will essentially be completely immune. I believe you've got to be over 540, or maybe around 535, and you'll be able to take him out and get that secret triumph. When you complete this mission, you'll get some powerful loot drops, as you can see on screen. On top of this, it also showed an icon that said a new quest step was available on the left-hand side. But when you look on the map, there isn't anything there. We can't currently find another step. So it looks like there will be another mission, but it could be time-gated, it could be a daily thing, more likely to be a weekly thing. But there's probably going to be another mission come up, perhaps just another weekly bounty from Petra, or maybe the beginning of a much longer quest. We'll have to wait and find out. But the one final piece of content available after the launch of Last Wish would be the Corrupted Strike. And you have to fight and rescue, in fact, a Techian, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, spoiler alert, if you haven't been into the strike, I definitely recommend that you check it out for yourself. I'm going to run some gameplay in just a second and explain some of the mechanics very briefly. So if you don't want to see that, then definitely tune out right now. But here we are, this is the Corrupted Strike. The one mechanic I wanted to explain are these kind of charges that you'll find. And these are relics much like what you'd find in the raid. And you'll actually need to use these to take down the Techian shield that you're fighting. And to do that, you simply pick them up, but every time you throw them to a teammate, they actually charge up and become more powerful, so they're going to do more damage. So if you can throw them to a teammate, they can either throw it to another teammate or throw it at the boss, and you'll get bonus damage. I'm assuming it gets stronger the more times you pass it, obviously up to a certain point, and that is basically how you get the Techian's shield off. So it's a pretty cool strike. Of course, you may have the bounty, the Purification ritual to complete the Corrupted Strike while Ascendant. So once again, much like the Blind Well, make sure you check out those bounties. Pop the Tincture of Queen's Foil before you complete any of these activities if you need them for the bounties. Those Transcendent Blessing mods are really cool. If you have a full set of armor with Riven's Curse or Transcendent Blessing, you get 25% bonus damage in Dreaming City, which is absolutely fantastic. Riven's Curse also comes with a bonus that means you're going to take more damage, whereas the Transcendent Blessing doesn't have that built in, so you only get the damage buff without any penalty, which is obviously really cool. So this is kind of part of Dreaming City's endgame, is upgrading all of this stuff. And just like when you collect a full Reverie Dawn set of gear, if you put Transcendent Blessings on every piece, you'll also unlock a Triumph. You're essentially purifying that armor. And now that these activities are up, we'll be able to probably get this completely upgraded in the next couple of weeks. So pretty fun stuff, guys. I think Bungie have done a really interesting thing here. Actually have that first completion of the raid tip the domino on a bunch of changes in Dreaming City. And obviously it's pretty cool as well for solo players or other folks who perhaps can't jump into the raid right now, because it provides a bunch of new powerful gear. It provides new content as well. And despite any separate opinions about the raid and power level and stuff like that, I think what they've done with Dreaming City and the changes that we're seeing is pretty cool. It's actually living up to be a more dynamic space than what we've seen in the past. The game is the living, breathing world that they kind of always wanted it to be, I suppose. So personally, I think these ideas are really cool. Plus, more loot, more content. I'm not going to complain. Anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, a like below is very much appreciated. If you're new around here, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more D2 content. I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the content over the weekend. Good luck in the raid if you're jumping in. For now, though, whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.